Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. So, ESPN has come out with their pound for pound ranking, and so has The Ring. And these guys have come out with interesting rankings. And, after the Errol Spence Jr. defeating Mikey Garcia. And their rankings basically has Vasily Lomachenko at number 1, Terrence Crawford is number 2, Canelo Alvarez is number 3, and Errol Spence Jr. as number 4. Gennady Golovkin number 5, Oslander Usyk 6, Noya Inoue number 7, Mikey Garcia number 8, Rungvisai number 9, and Anthony Joshua number 10. So let's be honest and unbiased. Let's go through the fighters that have done more than Errol Spence Jr. Anthony Joshua should not be below Errol Spence Jr. Even though Mikey Garcia lost to Errol Spence Jr., he should still be above Errol Spence Jr. for the simple reason that Mikey Garcia is a 4-division world champion. He came up in weight to fight and challenge Errol Spence Jr., and that's a guy that's not in his natural weight class. Gennady Golovkin has had multiple world championships at 160 pounds, and he's fought some of the best fighters in Danny Jacobs, his signature win, Canelo Alvarez, that's a signature draw. None of these things Errol Spence Jr. has accomplished. Errol Spence Jr. beat a fighter who's 2 weight classes below him, and he's elevated to 1 spot behind Canelo Alvarez on ESPN's pound for pound list. That's absolutely garbage and trash. ESPN is garbage and trash. These guys are completely biased because, first of all, how you can put Vasily Lomachenko, who basically has 13 fights and 1 loss, above Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford is beyond me. The fact that Errol Spence Jr. is in the top 5 and just 1 away from Canelo Alvarez is beyond me. That is egregious. The pound for pound list means nothing for ESPN because these guys are biased fanboys. You heard it right. And then when you look at the Ring magazine's pound for pound rankings, you have Vasily Lomachenko 1, Terrence Crawford 2, Canelo Alvarez 3, Oslander Usyk 4, Errol Spence 5. So then you have Errol Spence Jr. at number 5 on the Ring magazine pound for pound list. And I don't rank Errol Spence Jr. as a pound for pound fighter because he doesn't have a signature win or multiple titles in multiple divisions. He simply doesn't. He fought Kell Brook coming off of broken eye surgery. He fought a small Mikey Garcia. He's not challenging for belts. He's not meaning strap season because it's not strap season. He's fighting guys where he's defending a belt and not challenging for one. If Errol Spence Jr. beats a Sean Porter, unifies titles, then I'll say at that point, Errol Spence Jr., you've unified a belt, you're undefeated, you're showing great promise. I have to put you and elevate you on the pound for pound list. And at that point, I put him at number 9, 10, or 8 at the very highest. At this point, Errol Spence Jr. just has not done enough to be anywhere near the top 5 pound for pound. These guys are overhyping and over-promoting Errol Spence Jr., and you can clearly see that he's turning into a bigger and bigger hype job. Because, yes, the first time that we've ever seen Errol Spence Jr.'s boxing skills displayed was against a Mikey Garcia moved up in 2 weight divisions. Yes, I give Errol Spence Jr. full credit for getting the win, but that's what he was supposed to do. Regardless if I picked him or anyone else, Errol Spence Jr. was supposed to beat Mikey Garcia. And not only was he supposed to beat him, he was supposed to knock him out, and he couldn't do it. At the end of the day, and a lot of fanboys say, oh no, Errol Spence Jr. wasn't trying to knock out Mikey Garcia and all this biased fanboy rhetoric. Let's look at Errol Spence Jr. He threw upwards over 1,000 punches. It was nowhere near close in the punching output. He should have stopped Mikey Garcia, and the fact that he couldn't means that at some point in the near future, Errol Spence Jr. will take a loss when he steps up in competition, because at the end of the day, if you can't knock out a guy coming from 135 pounds, if man down doesn't stand for that, then what does it stand for when you elevate in competition? Then you hear a lot of fanboys saying, well, Errol Spence Jr. stops other welterweights. Yeah, he does. He stops welterweights who are on the C level. What about A level welterweights? Stop Sean Porter. Stop Danny Garcia. Stop, Terrence Bud Crawford. Stop Yordenis Ugas. Then at that point, I can give Errol Spence Jr. more credit. Stopping, C level, fighters like, Lamont Peterson. I don't give you credit for that. You don't make pound for pound rankings for that. You don't make pound for pound rankings for beating Mikey Garcia and being unable to stop it. These guys are all biased fanboys elevating Errol Spence Jr. into the top 5 pound for pound, which he does not deserve to be. But once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.